There is a $4 bottle of orange oil that kills termites in 48 hours. Not slows them down, not drives them away temporarily, kills them, colony and all. No drilling into your foundation, no toxic chemicals pumped into the soil, no annual contract, no technician returning every spring to tell you the infestation is back, just the cold-pressed oil from an orange peel applied directly to wood, the same substance Southeast Asian builders have used to protect timber structures for centuries, the same compound Brazilian indigenous communities used to repel termites in the Amazon long before a laboratory existed to explain why. A substance the $26 billion global termite control industry has spent 50 years lobbying out of every professional treatment standard ever written. They did not keep this from you because it failed. They kept it from you because it worked completely, cost almost nothing, and could never be sold on a yearly renewal contract. This is the story of d-Limonene, the orange peel extract that destroys termite colonies at the molecular level, and the pest control empire that replaced it with a poison designed to require retreatment every single year. Welcome to Apex Intel. This is where we expose what the pest control industry buries and what they spend millions lobbying to keep off every label. Subscribe now and hit the bell. Every brief we publish, they wish we would not. The problem begins with what termites actually cost. The United States alone reports $5 billion in termite damage annually. Only the structural damage, not treatment costs. A single colony of 200,000 workers can consume 1 foot of 2x4 pine every 5 months. They work in darkness inside your walls, floor joists, roof beams. By the time you see visible damage, the colony has been active 3 to 5 years. The average homeowner faces $1,500 to $3,500 for initial treatment, then $300 to $500 per year in renewal contracts every year, indefinitely. Over 10 years, $4,500 to $8,500 for a problem a $4 bottle of orange oil resolves permanently. Now travel to Southeast Asia, Thailand, Indonesia, the Philippines. Traditional builders in these regions have constructed wooden structures in some of the most termite-dense environments on Earth for centuries, without pest control companies, without organophosphate injections, without annual contracts. Their method was observation and material selection. Woods high in citrus family terpene compounds were left untouched by termites. Woods without them were consumed. Thai and Javanese craftsmen began treating vulnerable timber with pressed citrus peel extracts before construction, extending the working life of structural wood in tropical climates where untreated timber survives less than 3 years. This was not folk remedy. It was precision material science derived from hundreds of years of construction practice. In West Africa, Yoruba and Ashanti builders documented burying citrus rinds around foundation perimeters. Termite activity in treated areas dropped visibly. In the Amazon basin, indigenous communities observed that timber from citrus family tree species never appeared in termite damage surveys, while surrounding species were routinely destroyed. Their structural wood selection was built entirely around this observation. An entire construction tradition founded on one empirical fact: orange trees do not get eaten by termites. And now we know exactly why. Stay with me, because the molecular mechanism behind this is the part the pest control industry has spent millions lobbying to keep classified as insufficient for professional use. But first, everything they buried is inside the complete Apex Intel vault. Termite elimination, hard water removal, wood preservation, heating systems that run on almost no fuel, water purification the military still uses. Over 10 complete intelligence briefs in one place. The link is in the description. But stay here, because the science coming next is where the entire $26 billion argument collapses. D-Limonene is the primary terpene in cold-pressed citrus peel oil. Not synthetic, not manufactured, produced in millions of tons annually as a byproduct of the global orange juice industry. Raw material cost functionally zero. When it contacts a termite, 2 mechanisms activate simultaneously. First, it penetrates the thin lipid layer of the termite's cuticle, the waxy coating that prevents desiccation. Once breached, the insect loses moisture regulation and begins dehydrating from the inside out, working inside enclosed timber where powders cannot reach. Second, d-Limonene inhibits acetylcholinesterase, the enzyme that terminates nerve signal transmission in insects. Nerve signals fire continuously. Paralysis and death follow within hours, but the colony-level effect is what makes this extraordinary. Termite colonies function entirely through pheromone communication. D-Limonene disrupts those chemical signals at the molecular level. Foragers lose their trails. Soldiers cannot coordinate. New workers stop reaching the food source. The colony loses organizational coherence entirely. A colony that cannot communicate cannot feed. A colony that cannot feed collapses. A 2002 study in the Journal of Economic Entomology confirmed 100% mortality in Formosan subterranean termite populations within 48 hours of d-Limonene exposure, the most destructive termite species in North America. 100%, 48 hours. orange peel oil. The efficacy data is unambiguous. Now here is how this was buried. The EPA's pesticide registration framework, formalized in the 1970s under pressure from the synthetic pesticide industry, requires toxicological testing, environmental studies, and efficacy standardization before any compound can be registered for commercial pest control. That process costs $50 to $250 million per compound. For a patentable synthetic compound, that investment generates a return. For d-Limonene, a natural compound that exists in every orange on Earth and cannot be patented, it generates nothing. No company spends $100 million registering a compound any competitor can sell the next day from the same raw material. The regulatory barrier was not designed to protect consumers from orange oil. It was designed, with direct industry participation in the drafting process, to ensure only patent-protected compounds achieve professional registration. The science that buried d-Limonene was not laboratory science, it was regulatory science funded by Terminix and Rentokil lobbying budgets. Today, d-Limonene is sold legally as a cleaning solvent, food flavoring, and cosmetic ingredient. The EPA classifies it as generally recognized as safe. It appears in products your family uses daily. But a pest control technician who applies it to your foundation and calls it termite treatment is operating outside registered standards. The compound is safe enough to eat. It is not registered to kill the insects destroying your home. That contradiction is not an accident. It is the entire business model. If you have made it this far, you understand more about termite control than the average homeowner who just signed a 10-year pest control contract. The vault link is in the description. Now here is exactly what to do. Purchase food-grade or cleaning-grade d-Limonene or orange oil concentrate online or at hardware stores. 90 to 95% d-Limonene concentration is most effective. Cost per liter, $8 to $15. For active infestations in furniture, flooring, or exposed timber, inject directly into termite galleries using a syringe. Drill entry holes at 5 to 8 centimeter intervals. Inject until the oil saturates the gallery network. Seal holes with wood putty. The oil migrates through the gallery system, contacting the colony across its full extent. For foundation perimeter treatment, mix d-Limonene with water at 10 to 15% concentration and drench along the foundation line. 1 liter treats approximately 10 linear meters. Apply in dry conditions and allow 24 hours before rainfall. For preventive treatment on new timber, brush or spray pure concentrate onto all cut surfaces and end grain before installation. Retreatment every 3 to 5 years maintains protection in high-risk environments. A homeowner in Louisiana with a confirmed Formosan termite infestation in a floor joist system treated accessible timber with d-Limonene injected through drilled access holes over 2 days. 14 days later, 0 live termite activity across the entire treated area. Total material cost $34. The professional treatment quote for the same infestation, $2,800 plus $400 annual renewal. Southeast Asian craftsmen kept timber standing for centuries with orange peel oil in the most termite-dense environments on Earth. West African builders buried citrus rinds and documented the results across generations. Amazon indigenous communities built with citrus family timber because observation told them what the laboratory later confirmed. A 2002 peer-reviewed study proved 100% colony mortality in 48 hours. The EPA considers this compound safe enough to eat, and yet the $26 billion pest control industry has kept it outside every professional treatment standard for 50 years. They did not bury this because it failed. They buried it because a $4 bottle that eliminates a termite colony permanently is incompatible with annual renewal contracts and quarterly inspections. The orange tree never sent an invoice, it just kept repelling termites, the same way it will work for you starting this weekend. Subscribe and share this with someone who just received a termite treatment quote they should never have to pay. Every share preserves what the industry spent decades keeping off the label. The next brief drops soon. What is inside hits even harder.